Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rayhart Rundown. If you're just joining us, please subscribe. Please subscribe to our channel. Even if you never watch another episode, just hit the subscribe button, see what happens.
Yeah, hit subscribe and then unnotify. I don't care.
Yeah, don't ring the bell. Fuck that bell. All right. Let's continue on from our topic last week. I want to, because we need to get an update. And for those who didn't see last week's episode, right here, okay? You can see it right here. You can click right here. You can stop watching, click this right here, and go to it and watch it.
And then come back.
And we'll wait.
For the continuation.
Here we are waiting. Cool. All right, so welcome back. All right, so no, I want to get continuation. So did you have a working bathroom now?
Yeah.
Okay, what does that mean? Did you do the shimmy around the pool to the other bathroom?
Bro, many times.
Did you pee off of the balcony?
Bro,
did you pee into the pool?
I did.
Did you pee into the kitchen sink?
No.
These are all topics from the last show.
Not the pool.
If you didn't watch, again, you should have clicked.
Not the pool, not the kitchen sink. I did piss off the balcony at one point. Don't care if anybody was down below. I was fucking woke
Golden
up.
shower.
No.
Which balcony? The back balcony where everyone could see, or the front balcony?
The front balcony.
Okay.
So I got the view while I was no, it was like I made sure all the lights were off, and no, I did. I pissed off the balcony at one point because it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I woke up in the middle of the night to go pee,
and you were supposed to walk all the way across
and I wasn't
the pool
fucking
area.
doing it, and I wasn't having it.
Dude, what about the piss bucket idea?
I didn't want my bathroom smelling like piss for a week.
You didn't have to keep it in there, you big weirdo.
So
it was just to do at night, bro. It was just to do it.
It would have ended up staying.
It's just to do at night.
But no, so I just pissed off the balcony.
Right.
And then went back to sleep. But I only did that once. No, it was just like, because like the first time I woke up at 8 a.m.
Right.
to pee. Because that was my middle of the night at the time. And I walked all the way over there. And mind you, I forgot to mention. So the first day, right? First day of no bathroom. I go over there, I'm using the bathroom and do my whole thing.
Right.
And now I'm all like, all right, I'm going to shower. So I grabbed the shower curtain from my bathroom, and I had bought a new one, so I was just going to like throw that one away anyway. Right. So I just brought the old one over there. Brought the shower curtain, the soap, my clothes, and all that. Went all the way over there, and the shower didn't work. Like the little nozzle that you pull up on the spout,
right? On the
to
tub
get
spout,
it to go from the bottom to the
to change the direction.
Wasn't fucking coming, bro. I was like,
did it screw? Was it the screw type?
Yeah, I thought so. So I tried to, and I unscrewed it completely.
And now it's never gonna work.
And then I was like, fuck me. So I screwed it back on, and dude, like I'm pushing down on the spout and pulling up.
You know, it's not supposed to be that difficult.
I thought it was like rusted or something, so I figured I could like just manhandle it.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Nope.
So you took a bath?
So I took a bath. And I'm too tall for bathtubs. Like I'm too big to take a bath. It doesn't work. I can sit in a bathtub, but there's no like laying down in a bathtub. So
there's no soaking in a bathtub.
There's no soaking in a
bathtub. Standard size bathtub.
Yeah, in a standard.
Okay.
Like queen, let's like mom and dad's old one and their master. That was
the larger size.
Still
one?
Kind of short, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but then when we built the house, when mom and dad built that house, when we went into model homes to look, dad would literally climb into the. I don't even care. Dad would literally climb into the bathroom or into the bathtub to see if he would fit. Did you know that?
Never did,
dude. Like he would go into the master bedroom or the master bathroom. Or whatever it's called.
Never heard of dad ever taking a bath.
That's my point. But he would climb into the tub to say like, oh, yeah, I can fit. Yeah, I can. And when we got to that builder, I don't remember who the builder was, but if we got to that builder, dad climbed into the master bath and was like, oh, I can actually kind of fit in this tub because it's fucking oversized and huge. So, yeah. So they were on the list of like, yep, check. Like there was I remember like going into... I remember going to look at houses and like, this is a pretty cool house. And then I see dad climb into the tub and like, nope. And I'm like, okay, we're out of here. Screw it. Let's go.
But yeah. So like, I'm sitting there in the bathtub.
Right.
or whatever. And so, like, because I don't fit, the water's coming up, and because I'm a big guy, as soon as I get in, the fucking water rises.
Yeah, you can only fill it like halfway.
Yeah, yeah, right? So fucking water rises, and I'm just, like, splashing water onto my chest.
So you basically look like a baby elephant inside.
Yes.
Yeah, and like a
So I'm fucking splashing.
Just flailing water up. There's no curtain. You're just trying to get wet somehow. Like you go to like get your hair wet, but you like have to like your legs have to like come up out of the water.
I was just getting there. Once I got like a good like lather, of water, I stand up and soap, right? And I lather up in soap, and then I sit back down.
Wait. Did you stood up?
I stood up to
so
lather
you're standing
myself up,
in this bathtub,
which is now filled with this much water. Because when I sit down, it's like this much water.
In this abandoned house.
Yep. There's zero furniture.
There's zero lights, zero furniture, and you're standing up there like Venus de Milo painting on a clamshell or whatever.
Bro, I'm like, I lather up or whatever, and I fucking sit back down, and I start fucking waving the water back onto me and everything. And finally, I had to do the thing. I was like, I gotta just get under the water. So then my legs go all the way up, like split between the faucet.
Like at that point, it would be hilarious if the faucet actually did turn on and the shower started spraying you in the face.
Like, dude, just so I can fucking lay down and, like, get all of the soap off.
Like, you were pretty much probably very close to sticking your dick inside of the faucet.
Probably, yeah. I was.
You're probably about
fairly
to
close.
Fuck that bathroom.
And then I got out or whatever, and drained the tub, and I went back home, and I texted the front office immediately. And I was
said
like,
what?
This is not
I just
gonna
fucked
work.
your bathroom? Oh.
Yeah, I was like, this isn't going to work. So the shower doesn't work, and I am way too big to be taking baths. And then the next morning, I wake up at 8 a.m. because I have to pee, and I walk all the way over there. And the maintenance guy is out on the pier with some guy who's talking about rebuilding the pier or whatever. And decides to have a full conversation with me about how he fixed it and what he had to do to fix it. And I'm just like... Dude, it's 8 a.m. I'm on like 2 hours of sleep right now, and I really gotta pee. Yeah, that was day one.
So day one, the shower didn't work. You had to take a bath like Babar. and then the next day, they called the maintenance guy to come fix it. Then he gives you like
a fucking rundown,
the whole shebang. He gives you the rundown on how it worked out.
Yeah.
Would the shower work then?
Yeah, it did.
Okay,
thank God. But the shower head sucks, dude. Oh my God, I'm tell everyone right now. I know you've seen the ads. It's the shower head that has that fan on the back where it's spiral. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah,
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what it is.
They suck. Don't buy them. Worst fucking shower head in the world. It's like, as soon as it gets, like, if it's this far away,
yeah,
the spiral is about this big.
Right.
So, like, you literally you're just like spot rinsing.
Right.
But if you get a little bit further away for it to go out, it's fucking ice cold, even though it's on steaming hot. Like, it
spreads the water. It spreads the water so fast, so far that
it gets cold.
It cools the water
or
quickly.
If you want it hot, then you gotta just like... So, like, it's basically the only good that it does is you fucking... You just wet yourself with it, like with hand, put it back up, soak up. Just like taking a fucking bath with a shower head.
I was going to say, there you are again, Babar.
Soak up and then take it and rinse yourself off and then get the fuck out. Dude, it's so bad. They suck. Don't buy them. I know they're cool. The LED lights and shit changes the color of the water. Just buy some fucking LED strips and put it in your bathroom because they're awful. Worst shower head ever. Anyhow, so then we go through the week, and I'm constantly having to go next door, and it really sucks because like
taking what we refer to now as Babar showers.
Yeah, like when I'm gaming at 2:00 in the morning. Right, 1:00 in the morning. I've been sucking down fucking Mountain Dews.
Oh my God, you gotta pee and you're gonna
and then my friends, and then like we're in like a battle or some shit, and I'm like, I gotta piss so bad.
Hence the bucket.
So I'm like, all right, guys, protect me. I'll be right back. And then I fucking just grab the key and I run. all the way across, piss, run all the way back, and then jump back. Yeah, it sucked, dude.
No way.
And then finally yesterday, these guys show up. They rip my toilet out, and now there's just a gaping hole from my...
I thought they were going to fix the plumbing on the underneath.
Yeah, they had to come in and connect it to mine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they ripped my toilet out, and then then there's just this gaping hole in my floor to the next apartment down below.
Yep.
And that was it. Like, they just came in, they ripped the fucking toilet out, and then they left.
Lunchtime.
Yeah. And I was just like, all right. So, and I hear them drilling, and then I go outside. I'm like, where the fuck are they? They're next door working on that one. I was like, she's in a hotel right now. Like, fix my shit. Like, do mine first. I'm still here. So then they finally, like, dude, they don't even get done till like 6:30 at night. But halfway through, the lady from the front desk is outside, and they didn't speak any English. So, like, they're trying to communicate with her about how something else is broken in my apartment and how it's not going to get fixed. And they have to buy all new stuff. But they're trying to so I'm like Google Translator, like handing him my phone, and he's texting it, and I'm reading it to her, and then back, and then I'm typing out what she says. So we're using Google Translate and whatnot. And finally, like, after all that is said and done, they finally got my bathroom fixed up, but now my toilet is shifted closer to the bathtub. So now I have to sit halfway on the bathtub and halfway on the toilet because it's that close to it. And then there's a gaping hole in my drywall in my living room where the other side of the pipes is. And now my dog has been trying to eat the fucking drywall because it's available. Like, dude, it's just...
She's like, this is delicious.
Yeah. And there's a hole through the drywall down to the first floor. So now I'm ACing my floor, the first floor, and the windows are open, so all of Fort Myers. It's just a fucking nightmare. I still have drywall all over my fucking... They didn't even clean it. They didn't even clean up the fucking dust. Nothing, dude.
Have you said any of this to the front office?
They're closed today.
No, but I mean, okay, today. But I mean, like, you need to be like, yo, this is not acceptable.
Oh, I'm gonna have that conversation tomorrow.
This is not acceptable. Like, this has put me out so much.
Yeah.
Like,
a dog now is addicted to eating drywall.
I wouldn't even say that. I'd be like, yo, they left the drywall open and my dog chewed it up and got sick. And
yeah, I'm gonna have that conversation tomorrow. So it's gonna be fun. But yeah, that was my week of my bathroom.
All right, so we're all up to speed. Now we're all up to speed on Adam's.
Anyhow,
let's do some. I got some stuff from the news. I don't know what you want me to do.
Okay,
I got some. Let's just take a detour here. I got a couple.
We'll do that, and then I'll tell you what I've been doing.
Yeah, we've got
besides the bathroom stuff.
A little bit from the news here. The Directors Guild of America had an award ceremony this past
that's cool
weekend or whatever, and Judd Apatow, comedian and director and writer, hosted part of it, and it's fun. He's funny. I've seen his special. He's hilarious. The movies he's done are
my favorites.
Yeah, great stuff. What's some of them?
I Love You, Man.
Right.
40-Year-Old Virgin, alwaof gonna be a freaking classic.
Yep.
This is 40.
Yeah.
Knocked Up.
So those ones. So most of the time, if you saw
Paul
Rudd,
forgetting Sarah Marshall.
If you saw Paul Rudd, then you saw at Judd Apatow film.
Yeah, Paul Rudd, Jason Segel.
Yeah. So, and he did Freaks and Geeks.
Yes, he did. That was one of his.
Yeah,
dude,
we talked about that. I know. That's what we talked about. That's what I was getting at. So, anyway, so he came out on the. And okay, so, so Top Gun was due for a nomination or something. And the only thing that came out of the award ceremony was that Judd Apatow ripped Tom Cruise.
Oh, I love him so much more.
Ripped him.
I love him so much
ripped
more.
Him. He was like, man, they did such good work on the flying. This is what he said. This is his, like, not quote for word, but just the basis of it. Here it is. He goes, they did such a good job during Top Gun filming Tom Cruise flying those planes. You couldn't even see the stack of phone books he was sitting on to reach the controls. It was great. Like, he just straight faced it, It was so...
That's awesome.
Like, Tom, you don't have to do... You're 60. You don't have to do stunts anymore. It looks just as real in front of green screen. Thelma and Louise really didn't go off the cliff. We can fake it. It's Hollywood. Like, there's something like that, like something to that effect. It was just, apparently it was hilarious, but it was so hilarious. It was notable to people that they remembered. And of course, Tom wasn't there.
Yeah.
And apparently there was even a dig at Scientology, co-parenting, his height, the stunts. Like he just did like a little set and ripped him. And I was like,
love him so much more.
Shit's hilarious. So I thought that was funny. I thought it's apparently I guess there was other people there that were either in Top Gun or something that were accepting it and could not laugh at it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Judd Apatow. He's a comedian. He's does stand up. So his delivery is on point. And anyway, so I thought it was hilarious, and I just want to bring it up because, like I said, I know you love Judd Apatow, and I know that Tom Cruise sucks. So there's that. Second thing in the news. Ready? I saw this on a YouTube video. I saw this on a TV show, and then I saw it like on a YouTube video, and I thought it was weird and odd. And I was like, well, is it true or is it not true? So the question I came up with was, I saw somebody get pulled over for flashing their lights and warning somebody else about a speed trap. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so my question was the cop in the right to pull somebody over for this? Now, upon my research into flashing lights to warn about speed traps, it turns out that it varies whether it's legal or not from state to state. So, if you're a United States world traveler, you better know that if you go to flash your lights to tell somebody, hey, speed trap, there's a good chance it could be illegal.
It's not legal, or I think it's not illegal in Florida.
So it is legal in. I have a list.
I figured this is where we were going.
I have a list. It is legal in Florida.
Yep.
As of 2013, it's legal in Florida, Tennessee, Missouri, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. All the other states is not necessarily illegal, but they have another it doesn't come out and say you cannot flash your lights because it's considered an attack on the First Amendment of communication.
Right.
But it's the other states, California and all the rest of them. Like California has it where you can flash your lights to communicate if there's a median in between. You know what I'm saying? Like if there's a median in between, but if it's if there's just a lane, you can't, or something, or vice versa, or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? They do. There's like a weird restriction. So it's like now it's
like don't blind them unless there's a median.
Right. It breaks it down road by road at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Safety issue type thing. Yeah.
So that's
that's
how California did it. And then some states are just like,
fuck you, don't do it.
Don't flash your lights unless it's nighttime. Like if you flash your lights during the day, pull over. Like that's where there is. So you know what I'm saying?
So this actually this brings up a good point. I don't flash my lights at anybody. Ever.
Okay, so let's stop right there before you get into the whole theory, because that's the biggest thing is that everyone's like, oh, if you flash your lights at somebody's, that's the first initiation of a gang. That has already been debunked, and even the big gangs have come out and said that's not true.
No, it was a gang initiation.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's to pull somebody over or whatever. That even came out. It's not true. You could look it up. You could quote me on it. I pulled all of the information from the internet.
When somebody they drive around with their lights off, and as soon as somebody flashes like, "Hey, turn your lights on," they go and shoot them as an initiation to join the gang.
Yeah,
not true.
I couldn't find. I you know me. I was trying to look for that exact thing because I said the same thing. I was like, well, what about the whole gang situation? And they're like. No, that's one of those urban legends. Oh. Yeah. Most of the gangs either have something what they call a beat-in, where they just beat your ass up.
Yeah. Jump in.
Or where they jump you. Or there's another one for females where it's a sex-in, where they all have to have sex with you or something like that if you're female. So there's like that, but there's never one where it has to deal with your lights off because it draws attention of the police, or it can draw attention of the police.
Right.
I guess you know what I'm saying. And I think I mean, it's like walking around with a gun and waiting for someone to look at you. You know what I'm saying? Like at that point. So,
Right.
But I couldn't find anything on it, and it literally came out on. It was online that was like, oh, this has been debunked and proved as not as.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So
I never flash my lights at people because of that reason.
There's other states that were like, oh, we'll allow you to flash your lights if you want to let somebody come over. Flash your lights and tell them it's good to come over.
Right.
Like I do that for truckers. You know what I'm saying? If their truck's trying to come over and I'm like, it's open, I just click it once, like, bing.
Actually, you know what? That's a good point. I do that.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like if we stop exactly at the same time at a stop sign, I'll just be like, hey, man, go.
Yeah, because especially at night, if they can't see you, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like a quick flash. It's not like some weird, I'm trying to SOS them or anything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I dug into it. I dug into it like, oh, it's like, is it illegal? And again, as far as common courtesy goes, as driving, in most cases, common courtesy is you're not going to be pulled over for doing that, for being nice or trying to help somebody on the road if you're doing it in a safe manner. It's the some of the states that worry about you yakking that there's a cop there. But here's the other crazy part. I haven't found it. I've seen it, but I don't know how it's done yet. And I will dig in. I didn't have time to dig and find out how, but I have seen it done. And you and I were traveling when we saw this. It's on Google Maps. Speed trap.
Yeah.
It'll come up on Google Maps. Yeah. Speed trap. So you don't have to flash your lights. Most cars now every phone has Google Maps.
Yep.
You know,
a lot of cars have it built in.
And a lot of cars have it built in. And it'll pop up on the screen, speed trap. So the flashing of the lights is kind of an old school way to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to just fall by the wayside. Again, all of these lawsuits and all of these amendments that were made to like the traffic rules and citations and things like that were done way back in 2013. I haven't found anything up to date. In fact, the latest up to date thing I think was the Missouri one in Missouri, where Missouri claimed it to be a encroachment on the First Amendment rights, and that was like 2015, 2017. That's the closest one. Everything else is like way back in the day. So, but now that cars have gone smart, you know, with their technology and with their maps and things like this, it'll pop up right on the screen and say speed trap. I don't know how to implement that, like into Google Maps. I
think it's just an update because mine just started doing it automatically.
No. I mean, like if you see a speed trap, how do you drop a pin? How do you mark it? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I don't know how to do that. Like, so I can't.
Yeah, no,
I can't give
Waze,
you
Waze is what started that.
Right. But I'm saying, like, I know it's available on Google Maps. I just don't know. I don't have a way to tell anybody, like, oh, this is how you do it, or, you know, this is how you use Google Maps. You know,
right?
It's a feature, but it is on there.
Trying to figure out a how-to video, Bob.
Maybe I need to start a how-to video segment. I don't know, but yeah. So that was the thing that I thought was interesting. I tried to comb through the news to find cool and interesting stuff, and I found a lot of cool and interesting nothing. A lot of stuff. It's just so much overabundance of violence in the world.
I have rabbit holed into the Bob Lazar thing this past week.
Okay.
Do you know who Bob Lazar is?
It sounds so familiar, but I'm better with faces.
So there was a documentary that came out a couple years ago on Netflix. I think you could rent it or buy it on Amazon Prime now, and it's not on Netflix.
I've seen most of the documentaries on Amazon or on Netflix, so try me.
Bob Lazar, Area 51 and the Flying Saucers.
Yeah, I saw it.
Dude.
I saw it.
I have once again
where he explains how the alien and the flying saucers, how they move through
time and space.
Yeah. And he tries to explain it like in logical terms, which makes zero sense.
It made perfect sense to me.
No, but I mean like in logic terms, like science terms, yeah, but I mean like
in science fiction terms, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, yeah, I have fucking deep dived into that documentary, and I haven't watched the documentary again because I haven't rented it or bought it yet. I want to watch it again, but I've just like deep dived on interviews and like different.
He's been squeaking about this for a while though, like since the
80s.
60s or 70s or something.
80s.
Yeah,
because he was one of the first. So he was one of the first ones to come out and say what was happening in the desert of Nevada or whatever. And that's when everyone went, wait, what the fuck is Area 51? Like,
right.
That's what created Area 51 to be such a big case. And now Area 51 is way more heavily guarded. Like if you just fucking drive down that road, like they'll pull you over and be like, "What are you doing?"
Right. No, would you blame them? I mean,
well, ever since the raid Area 51 thing,
yeah,
that went on fucking Reddit.
Yeah, there was. Did you see the video from that?
Which video?
From the. They can't.
No one showed up.
Maybe no. The whole shitload of people showed up. Did you not see it?
No.
Yeah. So they had news media down there and everything. So it was a bunch of people. It was, from what I saw in the video, it was 2 guards standing there with the fucking M16s, blamp, sitting there, and a bunch of dorks from Comic-Con. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. I mean, cool that they but they were just kind of like, just standing there, just like, in capes and tinfoil hats, just. And the guards told them, they're like, stay back, because if you aggressively approach, we have the right to shoot you. And so they were just like, okay. But yeah, it was like there was I don't want to say it was like a group. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying there was like 100-something people there. I'm saying there's like, I don't.
Well, like they were trying to get people of the thousands.
No, there was not thousands.
That's what I'm saying by nobody showed up.
There was there was not. There was like enough for like a quinceañera. There was like 12 people or something. I don't even know.
That's what I'm saying. Like barely anybody showed up.
It was that in the news, but it was like a bunch of dorks just standing there, just like, where is everybody? Like, I don't know. We'll just wait for them to get here, and then just nobody showed.
And they were gonna like Naruto run or whatever with the fuck.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah. It was just being dumb. They were like, oh, they can't shoot us all. They can.
Apparently there was a few people that actually tried to sneak in.
I don't know about that.
They caught some people trying to sneak in during that time. So now they'll pull you over and be like, "Listen, what are you doing?" It's like, "Oh, I'm just going here, just passing, just driving through."
Right.
They're like, "Okay, not a big deal. Have a nice night. Just stay away." We just have to stop people because.
Well, here's the thing: is ever since they started that Reddit thing of they can't shoot us all, the raid Area 51.
Area 51 was like, yeah, we can.
Yeah. Like, try it. Fucking find out what happens.
Fuck around and find out.
Yeah. But now, did you see the one that popped up like 2 weeks later? It was like, let's what was it? Let's raid. It was the church. It was a church thing in Rome or wherever, Italy or wherever it was. What's the big Catholic?
The cathedral?
Yeah, like the big one.
Notre Dame?
No, it's not that. It's overseas. It's in Europe. It's I can't think of it now. It's gonna bug the crap out of me for the entire rest of the show.
Where the Pope stays?
Yeah.
The Vatican.
Yeah. It was like, oh, let's raid the Vatican. They can't rape us all. That was the that was the quote. It was on. It came up 2 weeks later. It's like, let's raid the Vatican. They can't rape us all. It was just kind of fucked up. At this point, Reddit's just become a joke. But
yeah. Well, no, like I fucking deep dove into that and how the propulsion system works with the antenna and creates like this gravitational force field around it, and then when they move, like it uses gravity to like push it, and how it moves. But then like with the gravitational pull and everything, because they use gravity, it like just warps through time and space. It totally makes sense when I'm describing it all sorts of fucking wrong.
Right. So watch it.
Yeah. Lazar Area 51 flies. Dude,
here's the other thing.
All I've been fucking watching.
Here's the
all
other
week
thing.
long.
Is there anybody
that and then now the other one? Not the other one, but interviews with the guy that I didn't even know. The movie Fire in the Sky.
Yeah.
That was based on a true story.
Yeah, and
I had no idea.
When that movie came out in 1990, whatever the hell.
That movie terrified me.
When that movie came out in 1990, whatever, I can't remember. That was the selling point of the ad, based on a true story, because the trailer would come up based on a true story, about the dude that like I don't know.
He got abducted.
Yeah, and like it shows him, and like his friends were like, dude, and like
yeah.
He
got and I watched the interview and I watched him talk about him. What happened and how he got abducted and everything like that and what he saw and all of that, and I was just like,
and I don't want to be one that says, oh, aliens aren't real or anything like that. I don't know what the rules are. I don't know. There's weird shit happening.
Dude, they're totally real.
I don't know.
They're totally real.
Because here's the thing is that a lot of times in the 80s or the 90s, I should say, when people thought they saw, oh, I saw a UFO and it was shaped like this. And then like for the next 3-4 years, everybody saw that UFO shape. And then all of a sudden the US came out with the stealth bomber. And that negated that hoax. Right. You know what I'm saying? That negated that. Or, the ship that moved like this. And then it turned out to be like a couple years later, then the military came out with this. So the Area 51, as much as it's been like, it's a UFO base, all this other bullshit, it's actually been just special testing, I think, of new Air Force equipment. I honestly believe that. But and I think...
Is it possible that we implemented it into our own jets using the technology from...
Possibly, but when you say... Here's the thing, is when anybody says UFO, they immediately think aliens.
Right, it's unidentified flying object.
Right, so it doesn't matter. Like if I were to throw this peacock high enough into the air above any military base or anywhere, you know what I'm saying? And it just were to be in the air, and it doesn't make out to be looking like a ship. Do you see what I'm saying? They'd be like, that's a UFO. I'm like, well, it's not, but yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's kind of like, I'm not going to disregard the idea behind aliens or anything like that. But I will say this. I took a deep dive off of another YouTube channel. And that this guy, he specifically digs and does his homework and finds stuff and like has all of the, like he gives you where he found it and everything like that.
Right.
And I took a rabbit hole dive into simulation theory. Have you heard of this yet?
Okay.
Have you heard about this?
It's like we're in the Matrix.
See, and everybody goes that route. Everybody tries to compare it to the Matrix. And as much as it's easier to say, yeah, it's like the Matrix, it's not. So...
Well, it's a computer simulation.
Right. No, so the whole idea behind a simulation... So there's a bunch of scientists or whatever that was like, oh, I'm going to disprove this theory. I'm going to disprove it. So they start digging down. Like they start digging into molecular levels, DNA levels, that type of... You know what I'm saying? One scientist, and it's in there, and this is 1970 whatever, okay? 1970, 1980. So this is how far back they've been talking about it. So long before the Matrix movies, this was a discussion in the world of science, okay? So just know that. So apparently they dug down far enough, or this one scientist dug down far enough to where he said he was completely disbeliever. He was like, I'm going to prove this wrong. You guys, this is bullshit. Watch, I'll show you. And he dug so far into DNA and down to the beyond the molecular level that he got to a point where he literally found ones and zeros and stopped and went, okay, and said, you know what? You might be right. Changed his whole way of thinking. And I was like, whoa. And this is the 80s. Not even new shit. This is 40 years ago. And I was like, wait, what? And they're like, the idea behind it is, yeah, the Matrix, blah, 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 and how much computing power would it take to do things, and how do you disprove it? Well, how do you prove it? How do you disprove it? And they say, oh, well, you can prove it because you ever have one of those moments where it's deja vu.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole idea of the computer fixing itself, like correcting a glitch in the, if you will, in the simulation. It's like you were meant to see something, but you didn't, but you feel like you've already done it. It's kind of like, yeah, you have. Then they did a test. They did a scientific test.
You're kind of freaking me out a little
Hold on,
bit.
I'll show you when we're done with this. When we're done with this show, you know what? Just because for anybody who's curious or whatever that's watching us on YouTube, I'm actually going to put a link in the comments down below of the show that I watched, so people can see what I'm talking about because they explain it way better. But they were taking, like, I want to say molecular particles. That's probably the wrong thing. But they were basically taking particles, right? And they were shooting them through a little slit, okay? Like to hit a wall to see how they land. And they would go through the slit and they would make a straight line after they would pass through the slit. Then they're like, okay, if we shoot it through two slits, it's supposed to create like 2 lines, right? And when they did it, when they would do it, it would create multiple lines on the wall. Like all the molecules would hit in multiple spots, even though there was only this much space for them to go through. So they were like, well, that's weird. So then they set up a device that would look at the molecules and what they're doing after they pass through. That it would look at them, it would be able to see the molecules after they pass through to see why they would hit so far away. And when they turned that device on, the molecules only made 2 straight lines. It was almost like as soon as the molecules were being looked at, they did what they were supposed to. It's so creepy. I want you to see the video when we're done.
Okay.
It was done by a YouTube channel called the Y Files, and this guy he's got millions of views, of course, and he digs, and he's like, I'm not telling you to believe it, but he's like, how come we're limited to the speed of light? Like that seems like a very much like a cap. Like we can't get past the speed of light. And so that's the cap. You know what I'm saying? How come we haven't figured out how to go beyond that? And he's like, here's the thing. He's like, when you start thinking about it, he's like, and you talk to scientists and all this other stuff, it's like you're talking about an entity or something bigger than yourself. And at that point, even on a science level, are you talking about God? You see what I'm saying? On a religious level, you're talking about God. On a science level, you're talking about stuff happening that's bigger than you can't explain. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, which is easier to believe? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was wild. It was so wild. And he was talking about some other stuff in the simulation thing. He was like, the Mandela effect. How do so many people think about one thing, and so many people agree with it?
Yeah.
And then it's not like. Do you remember Jiffy peanut butter?
Jiffy?
Yeah.
I remember Jif.
Right. But a lot of people, well, maybe this is why, from the 80s, I would have dude, if you said Jiffy, I'd have been like, oh, yeah, sure. No, never existed.
Okay, Bearstein Bears.
Right.
It is the fucking Bearstein, not Bearstein, Bearstein.
Right.
Okay? I read those books as a fucking kid.
Right.
It was the Bearstein Bears.
Right.
What was the other one?
Flintstones has 2 T's in it. When you see it written, it looks weird. It looks weird.
Flintstones always had 1 T to me.
I know. Everyone believes that. But when you look at it, you'll realize there was 2 and go, how come I never saw that one Flint Stones? Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, gotta watch that show. The Fruit of the Loom logo.
Oh, yeah.
The cornucopia and the Fruit of the Loom logo.
Yeah.
Never existed.
Bullshit.
I know.
Bullshit.
That's what I said. Here's what I said. I said,
E.T. phone home.
Did it exist? Did the cornucopia exist during Thanksgiving time? Maybe that's it.
E.T. phone home. Apparently, you go back and watch the movie, it's E.T. home phone. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Home phone? No, phone home, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like the Luke, I am your father.
Yeah.
That I understand. That one I get. I don't know if it was actually Luke, I am your father. It was no Luke, I am your father. That sounds about right to me. The Luke, I am your father, I feel like was taken from other movies that
make reference to it. Yeah.
And changed it and like
fucked it, screwed it up.
Screwed it up, and then it just became that thing. Like it was in Tommy Boy.
Right.
Whenever he's sitting in the office, he's got the fan in front of him. He's like, Luke, I am your father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but Bearstein Bears.
But they were talking about the Mandela.
Cornucopia. Yeah, stay with all
they're talking about the Mandela effect being another reason why, like, so many people can think about it, and it's not even so much. Yeah, it's not even so much a glitch, but it's like, how come so many people agree with those things being that way that they are, but they never were, unless the code was rewritten at one point. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's kind of like crazy. If the code was rewritten at one point, and then they, for lack of a better way to put it, this is so geeky and corny, but it's like almost like, okay, I just uninstalled this thing off my computer and then defragged the hard drive. Well, there's still bits of the old if you on a physical level, there's still bits of the old stuff that you uninstalled on the hard drive, but it's just not accessible. So the question is the Mandela effect part of our brain that is supposed to be not accessible?
What if we're a Truman Show? Another life, and like we're just on a computer program being broadcasted out to another life.
I don't know about broadcasting because I think they would go. Who knows? But I mean, you would be able to find waves, I guess, or sound waves. But who knows? I mean, it's wild.
Well,
I want you to see it.
We're just on a computer program, like like The Sims.
Yeah, like The Sims.
But we're just doing our thing. But because they could see everything, and they broadcast it out to thousands of their television sets, and we're just a reality TV show that we'd like the Truman Show.
But on a level of science, the cap is the speed of light. So you can't go farther than the speed of light.
Right. So there was another theory that.
Real quick before you dive in, here's another example.
We're gonna dive into so much.
Hold on, we don't got much time left, but here's another thing. Another example is on a video game. When you're playing the video game, the computer only renders what's directly in front of you, what your character can see, what you can see on the screen.
Oh, don't keep freaking me out.
Hold on, hold on.
Don't tell me that my house is not rendered right now.
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's not. I mean, maybe
every time I go home, it's actually Freya fucking built in a new render.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a matter of, like, the idea behind it was, if the computer is just rendering what is you can see, does this explain why we can't reach stars? Like, we can't, as we get closer, as we try to get closer to them, they start to render. And they're just, you know what I'm saying? Like other galaxies and all this other stuff and all the things that we cannot see and all this is just out there but unrendered. So it's an interesting watch. Link is in down below if you're watching this. If you're listening to us or watching us on YouTube, I put the link down in the comments. Check it out. The Y Files. I give this guy props. He does a great show. And he does more than that type of stuff. He does other things, and I've subscribed and found myself just watching it all day.
Bro, like
it's cool. He's got a little heckle fish that like tells jokes and stuff. It's kind of cool. It's like a little goldfish with a mouth. It's crazy. Check him out. Total promote here.
So there was a machine that they built over in Europe, and it basically recreated the Big Bang inside of this machine. I mean, machine's huge, right?
Right, the Hadron Collider.
Okay. So, so you already know about this.
I'm way nerdier than you. Remember that.
So you already know about this.
Yeah.
You heard about this. You know about this?
Yes, I know about this.
So, and it recreated the Big Bang. So when the two atoms collided,
correct,
whatever, it created this like universe inside this tiny universe inside of this machine.
Right.
They only turned it on for a few seconds. Bam, created it. Fucking turned it off. Went away.
Right.
The whole world was worried about, like, well, the whole world, but like people on fucking Twitter and Reddit.
The fear was to create a black hole.
Create a black hole on Earth that would suck up the Earth.
Right.
The scientists went, let's find out. And fucking clicked it on.
Well, I mean, two atoms at a molecular level would, I mean, you talk about smaller than the head of a pin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, well,
still dangerous nonetheless.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so they did it. They said, fuck it, let's find out. And they turned it on, and nothing happened. Clearly, we're all still here. But in that matter of seconds that universe existed, okay, time is different on a microscopic level, okay? Like, the smaller something is, the longer time exists.
You think so?
Yeah. You've never seen Ant-Man?
Can't
quantum level?
You can't start with science and then jump into Marvel movies.
But on a molecular level, time is different.
So do you think what you're about to say is what I think you're about to say is that universe during the few second, half a second or whatever that existed, there was an entire life lived.
It could have been billions of years.
Right.
In that aspect. Because also think about it. Time to them is like a solar system. 1 year time is us going around the sun.
Right.
But to them, because of how small they are,
how fast that little sun would
how
spin.
fast that little, you know what I'm saying? So like time is complete. There could have been planets and life forms that lived full on lives and fucking did podcasts and like, you know what I'm saying?
Made
Who's
technology.
to say that we're not
right, and it was just turned off.
And we're turned off,
and
but it's still technically turned on. It's just that our time is billions of years as to 3 seconds to whatever is that,
and
that turned us on.
This is what explained, and even Neil deGrasse Tyson said you got to think of it like exactly like what you're saying. You think of it like Russian nesting dolls, where one's inside of the other, inside the other, inside the other. And the question is, how far into the nesting doll are we? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is this life? Do you get what I'm saying?
It's fucking crazy.
Are we the smallest? As they're more ahead of us, back behind us?
This really brings on the whole point of like, what is the meaning of life? I feel like that is the episode.
It turns around again. But it's wild. It's wild to think
nuts,
about,
dude.
and when you break it down,
it can get depressing.
It can get
when you
scary.
deep dive. Yeah, it can get scary and depressing if you deep dive into this too much. But you know what I found out while I was here?
That you hate Russian nesting dolls?
Besides that,
I
was just deep diving on my phone before we
right.
got started and everything, like I've been doing all fucking week. And scientists believe that there is a 9th planet in our solar system.
Yeah, it's Pluto. Pretty messed up, right?
Not including Pluto.
Oh,
there's another one beyond Pluto.
Oh, is this the weird named one?
No. It's in our like it circles the sun with the rest of our planets.
But it's like way farther out.
It's
Wait, is this a bit? Are you going with a bit?
It's not a bit.
Okay.
I forget exactly how much further out, but it's like it's so far out there that the only way we'd be able to find it is if light reflected from the sun off of it. But the reason that we believe that it's out there is because like every single planet has its own orbit, right? Like we've got satellites in our orbit that circle around our Earth and stuff like that. And like, so they're seeing these objects in space following an orbit, but they can't find the planet. But they see these objects in an orbit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they still haven't found it. They still haven't seen it. And they saying like within the next decade or so, they're hoping to find it. Because new telescopes will come out, better telescopes and stuff as technology
advances. Right.
It's kind of like what they even said on the Bob Lazar, is that whenever they were experimenting on these, different propulsion systems and stuff from the flying saucers, from what they're saying, is that technology hasn't caught up for them to be able to figure out more stuff. So they'll literally fucking archive it, and then 10 years later, when technology advances, they'll be like, okay, let's see what we can do with it now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's basically what they're doing with this fucking 9th planet. I just think it's crazy. And then I started getting into my own thoughts. I'm all like, what if that's where the aliens are fucking coming from? What if they're not coming from distant galaxies? They're just 9 fucking planets away that we haven't found yet. Because think about it. If they're not that close to the sun and they don't have that much sunlight, what the fuck do they need hair for? Hair is to block the sun from your skin to stop the damage on your skin, right?
I don't know. Sure.
Right? Am I wrong about that?
I don't.
Pretty sure that's what hair was for.
Wouldn't we be a lot more hairier?
Yeah, but we started shaving and swimming, so we evolved. But you know what I'm saying? That's why I like the aliens with the big eyes. They have bigger eyes because they need to see at night. It all makes total fucking sense to me. I'm like, holy shit, I think I found where the Greys came from.
But you got to be careful.
It's the 9th planet in the solar system.
You can also start making...
Now get told, tell the whole world on their reality TV show.
But that's what I'm saying.
I'm onto them and I get abducted?
You could start making answers for all of it. Like, this is what I was going at. It's like you can... There's always a way to find... There's always a way that you could figure out how to connect...
I love connecting the pieces.
I know.
I love connecting
but
the
there's
pieces.
never...
On my own theories. I love...
But that's the thing. They're theories. They're not proof.
Oh, exactly.
Right.
I love creating my own theories. It is my favorite thing to fucking do in the world. Like, it is seriously... Like, I should have been a scientist.
Well,
I should have paid attention more in school. and I should. There's no way I can't. I'll be a. What am
A
I going to be? A conspiracy theorist?
Phlebotomist.
Scientist? Yeah.
Just draw people's blood all day.
I fucking went to the University of Architectural Dimensions and Math,
so screwed.
Yeah, exactly. I love coming up with theories.
It's so crazy.
But yeah, it's all like, well, what if this? And that's why I think I would actually. That's why I'm a writer. Because like it's just like I love coming up with theories, and I just it's story. It's kind of like storytelling.
So then, why haven't you written a book about it yet? Why don't you write a book about
Architectural Dimensions and Math?
No,
that's the name of the book.
That's
I'll sell one copy.
Architectural Dimensions and Math in space. Well, like I said, I deep dove into the whole simulation theory, and it's scary to watch a little bit, but at the same token, it's kind of like
depressing.
No, it was just kind of it just kind of ends like it just. I mean, they do a great explanation of it, and then it's kind of like,
here is all the evidence that shows you're living in a simulation. But what do you think?
Well, it's not.
Good luck sleeping tonight.
No, it's not even that. It's like here's all of the evidence that they do it like this basically. Here's all the evidence that you're living in a simulation, but all that same evidence could also prove religion. So now what? They kind of put you back into right back into, well, I don't know regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because I don't want to say that the video I watched leaned one way or the other. Because anybody who's a religious buff is going to be like, no.
Right.
God and that. And anybody who's an atheist goes, no.
I even saw a video lately talking about how there's proof that the world had been flooded once before.
But proof all over the world?
So,
or proof in one area. You see what I'm saying?
Right. I was just saying.
I mean, Fort Myers Beach got flooded a couple of months ago, so guess what?
Fucked up, bro.
I'm just being honest.
But no, we're talking like thousands of feet of water in the middle of a fucking continent. Like, you know what I mean? That's like that. There's no water anywhere even fucking near. The way they showed it was like
I'm not sure I believe
ripples.
Pangea.
This bitch don't know about Pangea.
Like I don't think I don't know if I believe if I believe that or not.
Really?
Right. Because of the way that I was shown how it was.
I have to believe in Pangea.
Why?
Because Pangea is the only way that mermaids will exist.
No. Listen. Listen. If you took all the water off of Earth, it's still all connected. Right? Underneath the ocean, the ground is still connected.
Not necessarily.
You don't think so?
Not necessarily.
Then what is the core of the Earth?
Well, that's just it. Is that
if you took all of the water off of the Earth, right? And we don't know how deep all the deepest of the oceans are.
Okay,
right?
Bob, when you dig in Florida, what do you hit?
Sand, water. That's what I'm trying to tell you, though. But stop. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But you hit water because the top crust, plates, all that bullshit, right? But here's the thing. Here's what I'm saying is.
How do you know?
That if they... Okay.
I know where you're going. I know what you're going with.
My point is that how come nothing's moved since?
You got to remember how long ago that was.
I'm trying. Because if you look at how erosion works, if a wave happens over here against the beach, the opposite effect happens here. For every action, there's a reaction. Scientific proof. So if this wave is coming out this way, then it's going to go in this way because it's just going to wave this. You see what I'm saying? Which would cause the form of this land to fit in over here. So the question is Pangea the scientific way of saying they could all fit together? True. But is it really a matter of it all fitting together, or is it just a matter of it all eroding in the same direction? Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know. Like there's just islands that don't exist anymore. You know, there's small islands that
they're saying California will eventually break off.
Yeah,
fucking float away. Because the way I see it is that it's like, how do you know that the United States, let's say, isn't like an iceberg.
It could be.
You have the tip. It's about, you see like the iceberg. You see the water line, the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
Huge fucking iceberg. It's huge.
Right.
The tip looks like that in the picture, right? But the bottom half is like this fucking big that's underwater. So how do you know the United States isn't just like that? Where it's all like, yeah, you have all this land, but then underneath that is still water. And then you've got a core. You know what I'm saying? Now you've got more of a core where all the gravitational... We don't know. We've never been that far down. We don't know what the fuck is what I'm saying. There. So, like, then you have a core where you've got all of the hot liquid magma.
And the other question is if we ever got to the core, if we ever got to the core or drilled down to the core, would it fuck things up?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. You can't make an omelet without cracking an egg, Bob.
But my point is, if we pierce the core of the Earth...
I think so. I think all the fucking volcanoes on Earth would erupt.
Well, here's the thing, is that so in that belief structure, then you think that the core of the Earth is lava.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that...
They've already proven that there's an entire core layer of the Earth.
There's crystals.
That's diamonds.
Yeah. That's... Well, where do you get diamonds from?
You know what I'm saying?
Heat and pressure and coal.
Right.
Fossils.
Right.
So, like... Heat, you need heat, so fucking, and pressure is the gravity. So, that's so crazy to think that there's like if we were able to extract the diamonds from the core of the Earth, diamonds would be worthless.
They kind of already are, let's be honest.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, the fucking stock would crash.
Right.
But no, I think it is. I think there is lava down there. But I think that because of the amount of pressure from the gravitational pull and stuff and everything, if you were to fucking pierce that, it's like a pimple, bro. And I feel like it would just like it would just
maybe
burst from the inside. And I feel like volcanoes are kind of like...
all connected?
Cooling systems,
okay,
if you will.
Ventilation.
I feel like it's like ventilation type of stuff. And if you were to fucking pierce that, it would burst. And I think...
I don't think the volcanoes would erupt. I think they would drain.
They could do that too. Because it would erupt coming from where we drilled.
Right.
And, also very possible, But also, it's... How do you know that it won't be like a... actually, that probably would be what happened. Is that because it would work like a ventilation, like
if the volcanoes were ventilation systems,
right? Because like as soon as we would pierce it, if it works that way, air would suck in through the volcanoes and it would use like a fucking vacuum to shoot all of it all. Never know. I know that there was back in the 70s. There was the U.S. tried to see how far we could drill down.
Did you know that last week a part of the sun broke off?
I heard about that. Yes, I read about it. I saw there's like a little vortex.
I'm like,
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does
that mean?
Here we go.
Yeah. Fry the satellites. Let's go back to fucking...
I can't go back to dial-up. Okay, so...
But no, I have no idea what the fuck would happen. This is just what I think based on the very little knowledge I have about the core of the Earth.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have very little knowledge. I am not by any...
We're not scientists. I am
not by any means smart about the core.
We're just two dumb guys.
How volcanoes work or none of that.
We are just two dumb guys.
Just an assumption.
Two dumb brothers goofing off and talking about random dumb stuff on the podcast. But
no, Pangea? Though? I don't know. Pangea just makes sense to me.
Okay, cool. Well, we have to do filthy trivia, so you're going to have to stop with all of that chaos.
This bitch don't know about Pangea.
And start the music for filthy trivia, and here we go. In 2012, the New Zealand government intervened when a couple wanted to name their child this. Is it...
For real with the number 4.
A. Cunnilingus. B. Hitler. C. Anal. Or D. Fart. 2012, New Zealand government intervened when a couple wanted to name their child one of those 4 things.
What are they again?
A. Cunnilingus. B. Hitler. C. Anal. Or D. Fart.
It's not fart.
Name your kid Fart.
Yeah, I think New
Come here,
Zealand would be
Fart.
like, you want to name your kid Fart? That poor bastard. Whatever.
Fine.
I want to say Hitler,
You think it's Hitler?
but I feel like that might be. Did it say what year?
I said 2012.
Okay. I don't remember that. So I feel like Hitler might have been a common name back in, like the 30s. We'll go with C.
You could go with anal. That's what you're gonna pick.
Who is Anel?
Is that what you're picking? Final answer.
No, I'm gonna go with Hitler.
You're gonna go with Hitler.
I'm gonna go with Hitler.
Hitler was a last name back in the day, so you're gonna go with Hitler.
I'm gonna go with Hitler.
100%.
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
You should have stuck with anal.
Really?
It was anal,
I figured
dude.
the country wouldn't get involved for them.
I figured the country wouldn't get involved at all.
All right.
They were like, we're gonna name our kid Anal because
That's what we should have done.
that's what was supposed to happen that night. But because of a lot of alcohol and misdirection.
Okay, this one's gonna make me feel stupid.
Cool.
Be a Greek god or a Roman god?
I'll be a Greek god. What do you want?
I thought they were the same thing. It's gonna make me end up
thought-
doing a deep dive into Roman gods because I thought
Greek
Rome-
Greek gods were more mythology and Roman gods were more like
people.
monster.
Monster.
No? I thought they were more monstery. No?
No, because
I got it backwards?
no, because I thought Rome is in Greece, right? No, Rome's in Italy.
Right.
I'm re-questioning my whole mythology knowledge because I thought I literally just thought it was like the same shit. I'm better at Norse mythology. I'd rather be a fucking
Cool,
Norse
that's not
god.
an option either way.
I
so
know. I'd rather be a fucking Norse god.
regardless,
Fucking Thor. Who wouldn't want to be Thor?
I don't know. You.
Who wouldn't want to be Chris Helmsworth? Fucking long blonde hair and shit.
I think you're more Loki, but okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah, probably.
We have to go.
I don't know. What's the god of gluttony? I feel like that guy right now with all
There's
these
probably a
fucking
name for
candy
it.
Wrappers.
Somebody's like probably literally typing it into the comments as we speak. So just relax. It'll show up. All right.
Yeah.
No, we can't. We've
we
gone.
can't. We're
Like,
out of time.
We're out of time. Like,
It was
by
fun.
about 10 minutes ago. So, okay, so that was a serious deep dive today.
Yeah, it was.
That was like dark and twisty.
I'm gonna end up
We
doing
went over like Judd Apatow. We went over flashing lights and the legalities of it. We went over a whole bunch of
What is life?
sci-fi theories, I guess. I don't know.
What is life?
Fucking all
Why
kinds
are
of crazy.
we here?
And then
What
somehow,
is life?
and then we
and
ended.
why are we here? These are
Right.
the ultimate questions of the podcast.
And then we jump ship and go to what naming people's kids anal, and then
fucking all over the place today.
and then yeah, and then we end it with Greek gods. So yeah,
Well, like, because Greek gods are like Zeus and right.
yeah, Hercules and all that.
So who the fuck are the Roman gods?
I don't know. Look it up. Look it up later though.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Peacocks up.
All right. Next week we talk about Roman gods.
Oh, here we go. We'll see you next week. Bye now.